And welcome back to SA Sports Show. You have Greg Anderson, my sidekick, Barry Curtin. Now, Barry, do we like Norwood? I want to know. Our next guest, you love Norwood? No, you don't like Norwood. You like me.
No. I think a lot of people, there's a bit of a misconception about Port Adelaide and Norwood. I think that we would hate Norwood if Norwood were not in the competition. I think that's where, I think they're a traditional rival.
Okay,
a lot of other clubs have tried to claim that traditional rivalry. You know that well yourself. But I think Norwood's always had it. It's always been Norwood and Port Adelaide.
It's a great club.
I think the other way round. I think that Norwood would not like it too much if Port Adelaide were not in the competition to have those games at Norwood Oval on a Friday night.
The fact that you two are ganging up on me.
We are
Just
already.
a little bit.
Should I just say, introduce the CEO of Norwood Football Club, James Fantasia. Welcome, James.
Thanks, Greg, and Baz. Good to see you guys,
Great to see you,
and great to be on the show. But it's funny when you talk about that. It's a great rivalry.
It is.
And any way you chop it up, I mean, there's a great respect, certainly for both ways. And when you go out to Alberton and you play, there's nothing better than winning a game at Alberton. It doesn't happen that often, I might add, but
It happens enough, James.
Yeah, and vice versa. We love hosting Port Adelaide out at Norwood Oval, and there's been some incredible clashes over the years.
Yeah. Do you know one thing? Sorry, Ando. One thing about Norwood and Port Adelaide, when the game is at Alberton, Norwood are one of the only SNFL clubs that actually send a representative to the lunch.
Yeah, well, actually, I was at the last one, Baz, and you were hosting, and I've got to say, it was a great day. And I've had the benefit of working with the league, at the SNFL, and what I found is you gain an enormous amount of respect for each of the clubs. But I remember being invited to a night for Bob Clayton, and I walked into the club, and it was an incredible night. There were heaps of Port Adelaide greats, and I just got that small little taste of what it would be like to be on the inner sanctum, and I was amazed. I was welcomed. Guys would come up to me and thank me for being there, and it was a really great insight. And that's one of the benefits you get, I guess, of being involved in footy for a long time. And
one of the things about that night you talk about, I believe we also gave back the 2 tyres we knocked off your car when you arrived afterwards. So we've mellowed quite a bit at Alberton. We have. You've been a busy man, James. You've been back at Norwood, but we spoke a little bit off air. Football's been your life. Football, since you stopped playing the game, it's been something like 40 years in the game still.
Look, I've been blessed. There's no doubt about that. I've had a number of roles, but even playing, you start off as a young person playing, and look, I've got fond memories of playing state football with Greg as young men, and what a thrill to see a lot of those guys, including Greg, and you watch with great pride as to how they develop. And my on-field, I was able to play some league footy, but I guess most of my career came from being an administrator in the end, and been fortunate to have a number of those years, not only at SANFL level, but also at AFL level, from recruiting right through to general manager of football with Western Bulldogs and a very short stint at Hawthorn. But it's a great fraternity, and I've been, as I said, very fortunate.
The club Norwood's in a good space. It has been for many years. Won a few flags in a row a couple of years ago. Interesting now also, taking on the women's Adelaide Crows team, and it's now their home ground. I mean, how have you found that?
Look, there's a lot of challenges, Greg, at our level, but I think we're up for the challenge, and we're pretty excited. We're celebrating 140 years this year as a club, and it's an amazing milestone. And like Port, we pride ourselves on our culture, our tradition, our past champions, and we've won 30 premierships as a club. 31 if you include the women's last year.
We don't include those.
Well, we got to start including those.
But still a few less than Port, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, it is a few less, and we're really proud of our girls. I mean, they're going to take on South Adelaide in the grand final on Anzac Day.
Wednesday at Unley.
At Unley, yeah. So that's another feather in their cap, and the girls looking forward to that challenge. Look, I think what's really important is that there is a place for Sandful football.
Yep.
It's a great family experience. We've just installed an LED scoreboard to really try and embrace and enhance that fan engagement. So, you know, there's lots of things, and we're just about to embark on virtually it's a $10 million redevelopment of the ground. So they're the things that we're genuinely excited about. But of course, you know, it all comes down to winning games of footy, and we've got a big season ahead of us, and we're looking forward to that.
The social base, how is that developing?
Yeah, it's taken its time, Daz. We've had some great support. You know, Wolf Blass recently committed another $500,000, so that's $1 million that he's put in himself.
Wow.
We've had some terrific support from our local government, from the council, from the league, from federal government and state government. So we're raising money. It's a big project, but it's going to be great to be able to bring our people back to the Oval.
Yeah. Very important.
And is it a tough role now back in the SNFL? I mean, you know, you're with the Crows, you've been with Footscray or Bulldogs, Hawthorn, now back, you know, as top dog down at the Norwood Football Club. Would have seen a lot of changes over the years, and obviously, you know, the AFL now is sort of so-called the pinnacle, and now you're throwing yourself in a very, very powerful club. Tough role?
It is. Look, I'm passionate about it. I guess, you know, it's my home club.
It is your home club, yeah.
And I feel as if, you know, you've got something to offer if you can put all those experiences together. But we've got some really good people there. And you know, football clubs, they come and go, but football clubs really, it's more than the bricks and mortar, it's about the people. That's what generally gets me excited. We're not as resourced as AFL clubs are. And that's the challenge in its own right. I think we're very fortunate at Norwood too, you know, geographically where we're placed. You know, we've been a club that's played night football for a very long time. So we've been able to carve out that type of niche. But, you know, as I keep coming back to, we live to win premierships, and that's the great challenge of any level. And I'm really enjoying it, being back at Norwood and trying to support that.
Tough start?
Yeah, we're 2-1. We've got a big game this weekend against North Adelaide. That won't be easy down at Prospect. So, look, you know what we have done? We've recruited pretty well in the off-season. I think we've put together a good group. Yeah. We've probably recruited more returned AFL players than most of the other clubs. That doesn't mean it's a guarantee to win games, of course. And Jared Cotton's in his second year, really loving what he's bringing to the group. So, look, I'm genuinely excited about it, but make no mistake, it's a tough competition.
I was going to say that. Can you believe the standard? I've watched the two SNFL games this year, and I was down at the Bay, Port Glenelg, a couple of weeks ago. I reckon it's one of the best SNFL games I've seen for, I reckon, 5 years.
Yeah.
It was the speed, and they play the AFL way now, and the fitness and you know, there's everyone's lean and fast.
Well, you know, it's important for our players because you've got to remember they're competing against AFL standard players. You know, with Port Adelaide and the Adelaide Crows in the competition, I think that's helped raise the bar in terms of how they prepare themselves. But you know, it's a very tight competition, and I think that's why we like it. You know, we don't want to have those days where there's just blowouts. And West Adelaide got beaten comprehensively 2 weeks ago. Came out last week and won. Yeah. So, you know, I think that goes to show where the comp's at, and you know, we're going to have some big games coming ahead, so we're looking forward to it.
James, thank you so much for coming in. In fact, you know, Barry, don't mind Norwood now. We'll be back shortly.